Hey, what's up guys? I'm back with another video. This time it's a performance review on the KD7. Let's get started with the traction of the shoe. Okay, so as you can see here, we do have a storytelling traction like the KD6, but this traction works so much better. The traction will work on almost any court condition. On most courts, this traction was great, but if there's a huge amount of dust and the court is like a sea of dust, well then at least expect to see some slippage. On outdoor courts, the traction worked fine, but the rubber is fairly pliable, so the durability of the shoe outdoor is uncertain. Overall, the traction gets an A-. Next we have the cushioning. As explained in my previous video, there are two zoom units in the shoe, one in the heel that is visible and one in the forefoot that is not visible. The foam carrier that is used on this model is very soft like the KD6. The shoe does a good job of keeping a minimalistic type of cushion setup so that the player will be able to maintain maximum court feel. This being said, I would have liked the shoe a lot better if the cushion was more abundant, like on the KD6 Elite. However, I am being a little nitpicky. If you are a bigger player like a power forward or a center, you would probably want a shoe that has more cushioning. Overall, this cushion gets an A-. Up next are the materials. Starting from the front of the shoe, the upper is meshed backed with a fuse similar to the fuse on the KD6. This makes the airflow in the shoe very minimal. Moving to the back of the shoe, you can see the Hyperposit material. The Hyperposit takes a while to break in, but when it does, it adds to the support of the shoe greatly, which we will talk about later. The inside of the shoe, as you can see, is heavily padded, which makes the player comfortable when making various moves on the court. The materials get an A+. Now when we have to grade the ventilation of the shoe, the ventilation wasn't great to say the least. The only spot of ventilation on the shoe is the tongue, which makes sense because heat rises, but more ventilation would have helped the shoe a lot. It doesn't matter much to me, but for a person that sweats a lot in their own feet, this is probably not the shoe for you. Overall, ventilation gets a C. Finally, the lockdown and support of the shoe are executed perfectly, especially on a low-top shoe. The strap was very good performance feature of the shoe, along with the dynamic flywire. The strap locks you into the shoe when you are making cuts and moves to get by a defender. The Hyperposit, once it breaks in, is hard in the heel region and is softer as you go further along the shoe. This makes for no heel slipping while having a free range of motion. Overall, the lockdown and support get an A+. The overall score for this shoe is a B+. They're definitely a good buy in my opinion. This is a great shoe, and the only thing that brought the score down was the ventilation. But if you don't need ventilation that much, this would be a perfect shoe for you. Until next time, guys, peace.
Okay. See that?